tired of making clips or videos that are too pixelated, blurry, grainy, inconsistent with quality? Well, there's an amazing tool that I'm happy to share with you today that a lot of big streamers and content creators are using to elevate their content. I'm going to help you set up and use Replay Buffer. So this replay buffer functionality is super duper cool. With this tool, you're able to have it make clips for you. You can make multiple clips to make it into a personal montage. You can make it into several clips to make a whole long form video. And this is a really awesome tool and opportunity to where you don't have to be like, for example, a Twitch streamer that goes onto Twitch and tries to go into your VODs and try to make clips out of what you just recorded. What you are able to do is be able to press a simple click of a button that enables you to highlight as like your clip, and boom, it goes right into the folder that you designated to. You're gonna want to make sure you have this button right here called the Start Replay Buffer on. So this button needs to make sure it turns on. If you ever have a clip moment, you can technically press this button over here called Save Replay, where it will be able to go into the designated folder that you want it to be sent to, just like how we have it right in here. When it comes to clipping, especially in the heat of moments, like if you're playing fast-paced games like Marvel Rivals or Overwatch, Call of Duty Warzone, Battlefield, Fortnite, Valorant, any of those type of games, or similarly, you're going to want to have a hotkey set up to be able to make sure that you don't miss an opportunity of what you want to capture. You're going to want to go to, in the General tab, make sure that you have one of these options enabled. Now, I personally recommend having this option called the Keep Replay Buffer active when streaming. You can have this on as well whenever you stop streaming. And so with this amazing tool, it allows you to not forget whenever you go live or press the recording button to make sure that you have this set to on. This is particularly for those who are streamers. So if you stream and you press the go live button, this will automatically turn on for you where you don't have to manually press the button to activate it. So it's super nice and super handy for someone. If you're someone like me who forgets to turn it on, make sure you check this on so that you make sure that you have the replay button on whenever you want to try to clip some awesome moments. Now, next thing you're going to want to go to is the output section. The output is, you're going to want to make sure you have your output mode set to advanced. And then once you have done that, make sure you go to the recording tab. And I won't be able to interchange the settings because I'm currently recording at the moment, but the type that I have it set to is standard. The recording path means that whenever you're recording or capturing, this is the specific folder that you're having it sent to. So I have it set to this particular folder that I'm using right now for all my videos and clips. Now, I would recommend to make sure that you have it set to a hard drive that has plenty of storage to where you're able to store a good amount of videos. Because if you're trying to put this recording path into a folder that has little to no storage, chances are you're not going to be able to get the clips you want and you're going to run out of space. And so make sure that you get a hard drive. What I would recommend as the very, very least 500 gigs, if not 1 terabyte, so you can have a comfortable amount of space to be able to have a recording path for your videos. Now, the recording format, I have it set to MPEG MP4. This tends to be the most popular format when it comes to recording. Video encoder, this is going to depend on the type of computer you're using for your recording as well as replay buffering. Usually in this case, you're going to want to set it to the NVIDIA NVENC H.264 because if you have a gaming computer like I do, typically your GPU is going to be the one that's going to be doing the most amount of performance work. And so if you have a pretty good GPU that outweighs your CPU, you're going to want to make sure you select the GPU. Audio encoder, this is going to be your FFmpeg AAC. This turns to be the best for the audio. If you are trying to record while streaming or use the replay buffer while you're streaming and you're playing music, this allows you to be able to separate your audio into a separate track. So since I have it set to audio track 6, music is not heard on audio track 6. This is the best way so that you are able to utilize your clips so that you don't have to worry about alerts going off. You don't have to worry about having music get in the way of your videos because sometimes that can just ruin the clip moments. I would recommend making sure that if you are someone who likes to play videos on streams or has audio that plays in the background, stuff like that for your recording or your replay buffer, make sure you set it to a track that is able to remove those sort of things. Rescale output, set it to disabled. So the encoder settings, this one is probably the most important thing as far as quality goes. So What I would recommend for your rate control, set it to CQP. Now the CQ levels, this is going to depend on your build. So the lower the number, the higher the quality is when it comes to your video. So if you have a low end rig, I would recommend setting it between normally about around 25 to 22. If you are a medium build type of PC, like you have a pretty good PC, then I would recommend setting it to around 22 to 18. If you're someone who has a very high-end rig, a really solid PC, then I would recommend setting it to around at the very minimum 20 to about probably 15. But I have mine set to 16. You can kind of play around with it just to see what works best for you. 16 has worked really well for me, so I have it currently at 16. Keyframe intervals, make sure you set it to 2 seconds. Preset, I have it my slow at best quality. High quality, 2 passes full resolution. Profile set to high. GPU set to 0 and B-frame set to 2. These settings allow the video to look very clean, very little to no pixelation normally ever. Now audio, this is one's kind of personal preference. I set it to 160, which works fine. For replay buffer, this one is going to depend on your liking, but personally, if you're just someone who's just trying to post shorts like TikTok videos, YouTube shorts, Instagram reels, I would recommend setting it to 30 seconds to a minute at the very longest. If you're someone who wants to be able to get like a clip, then you can set it as much as 5-10 minutes if you want. But do keep in mind, if you decide to do that, you are going to need to increase your maximum memory. If you have it set to too small of an amount of memory usage, it will not only mess up your quality, but it will also mess up the length of the video. I'm going to show you a clip, for example, of what my settings currently look like when you have all these things set up. Ow. Oh wow, I actually got into the building. That was nice. Look how the video has next to no pixelation. The video is very clear, well detailed. Holy moly. No buffering whatsoever. Oh my, I kind of have a nasty angle, not gonna lie. Oh, give me that 5-piece. 7.
I'm with the
oh, give me that. And you can tell that the audio is also set to a nice level. That is the beautiful thing about when you have your settings properly set up the way it needs to be. And so just with one click of a button, I'm able to record a video just like that, which is super nice, super handy. And so in order to set up that hotkey that I mentioned earlier, you're going to want to go to the hotkey section. You can do this for your vertical setup if you have vertical, as well as the regular horizontal setup. So for the replay buffer, when I'm doing the horizontal, I set it to the up arrow key. I could either press the up arrow key on my keyboard, or I can press this button that I have set up on my Stream Deck, which is super handy. So if you have a Stream Deck, this is especially going to be useful for you. You just press that one button that hotkey is triggered on your Stream Deck or your keyboard, and then it'll automatically record the last 30 seconds. And boom, just like that, right here, the replay, it pops up right there. And so that is the beauty of having a button that triggers a whole entire 30-second recording. It really saves you a lot of time and resources. This is able to elevate your content in such a more diverse way. And so if you are someone like me who has a PC that is capable of having OBS Studios or any sort of streaming or recording software, I highly recommend that you get this tool. It is going to be a lifesaver. It'll save you time. It'll save you a lot of patience. It'll be able to help your editing be so much easier, more efficient, more professional looking, and you're able to utilize it to make it more eye appealing to your audience. But that is going to be it for today's video, showing you guys the replay button and the backtrack button setup. Thank you guys again for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know down in the comments below if this was helpful for you and if you plan to set up your videos or clips with this type of format. But as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.